Hello. Right, so we've done the face, or at least we've done the basics of the face. So let's decorate the body. Right, take your other sheet. Now, you'll still have most of that sheet left, the one you used for the face. Ooh, that's great. Put that to one side for now. Get your other sheet of yellow and keep it doubled up like we did last time. Now, it may be, and this is important, okay, it may be that you, that one half of that doesn't fit the whole of your bee. And that's okay. Don't panic if one side doesn't fit. You will still have more than enough paper to do this with, okay? So on this side, I feel, look, can you see that that doesn't fit? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around and lengthways, tuck it up underneath these wings here. Right, so now we can see that it fits sideways. Look, it wraps around sideways, but it leaves a gap at the bottom. You see that? But that's fine because we've still got half of the other sheet, so we're good to go. So we are now going to cut this one in half. How we can do that is if we lay that sheet down like that. Oh, sorry, B. B went for his inaugural flight. Right. And tuck, well actually let's do it like that. Tuck your scissors in like that. And then you don't even really need to cut. You can just, using your scissors as a knife, you can just slice. Can you see that? If it's easier to cut, by all means cut. Or a little combination of both. Whatever works. The two most important factors are that you get where you want to go and have fun doing it. Not that you do it in the exact right way. Okay, so that's how I would do it. So now you have two. Ooh. Right, well I'm going to tear him off because he's ripped a little bit, so that's going to be annoying later on. So I'm just going to tear that bit off, and we will fix him when we get there. So he goes in my bin. Right, Beezy, it's time to come back and get dressed. So, you know the run-ins, loads of glue. You might want to, just for your own peace of mind, just check where it is that you're putting him, so you know what you're doing before you do it. Right, okay. Oops. So, generous amounts of glue. Make sure that he's got a layer everywhere. Ooh, I want to glue you up everywhere. Oh, B. Sorry, I can't help. I want to be with you everywhere. Right, have I covered the whole of that in glue? I believe I have. Right, I'm going to go over once more just on the edges to make sure that all the edges are done. And then I want to be with you everywhere. Right, so let me show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I've put him on and I'm gently with my fingers just pressing him into place. There's a little gap there, but not to worry, I'll come back and mend him. We're going to tuck him under the wing. I want to be with you everywhere. I Right. So again, I did that with my hands because sometimes if you do it with the brush, you can just go and rip the whole thing and then, oof, nightmares. So that's what we did. Right, so now we're going to go in with a piece of our face paper, you know, the piece that we used for the face. And we're just gonna glue that on there one time. Oops, see? What did I tell you? Rippage. So I'm going to, can you see? I'm going to cut that bit off. Don't worry if the join is sloppy. It is a bit sloppy in my case because you are going to stripe it up with black. Right, now go around the rest of it and give it an even couple of centimeters. If you have any training as a contortionist, it will be useful now. I wanna be with you everywhere. So it's looking like that. Still dry on this side, leave it like that. So you haven't gone over it with the glue just yet. You'll do that at the end. You'll do that at the end. Different people have different methods, but I find that if you leave the gluing on top till the end, it just gets a lot less messy, a lot less stressful. Right. Now, we're going to go over this and fold it in before we do the other side. Again, you can cut if you want it to be super tidy, or fold, because look, it's still quite tidy. Look. I wanna be with you everywhere. Forgive me if I tell you really obvious stuff. I just don't want anybody to feel like they're not clear on what they're doing. You know, I know that you all know this stuff already, but I just want to bring everybody along. Right, so if you cut there, it will easily go past that thing without causing trouble. Oops. You got a little rippage occurred. And a little light gluing just on there. So we're not going over the whole thing just yet. We'll save that till when we need it. Right, so oh, will you give it a rest? He is determined. Right, I'm going to move him away altogether. Right, now this head is still a bit sticky, so we have to be a bit careful. But yeah, so I'm going to give this a few cuts. Here's a tip. If the edge that you're folding over is straight, you don't need to cut. If it's curved, if you give it a few cuts, it will stick to the outline a lot better. And you won't have weird foldy bits. These are all technical terms, of course. So I've covered the inside of it in yellow paper. I haven't glued anything as yet. So there's a couple of bits where there's a little gap. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to cut a little bit from that edge there. And I'm going to cover that bit. I mean, we are going to decorate it with black stripes, so it doesn't really matter, but I am this way. Right, so we're going to do what we did before and cut round, giving it a couple of centimeters. Turning it over, we're going to fold it over in exactly the same way that we did before. So a little bit of glue around the edges, fold, fold, fold. Remember, if you want to do it super tidy, cut it, but honestly, so he is now covered in yellow in a reasonably tight. So now what we're going to do is to render him waterproof. We're going to do what we've done every other time and very gently. Take your time, there's no rush. Cover him in glue. I wanna be with you everywhere. And then we're going to set him aside to dry a little bit while we prepare for the next step. I wanna be with you everywhere.